Well, hey, boys and girls, it's Pastor Eric, and we're back here for Grace Kids Worship Online. It's been a long time since we've done this, and I'm glad to be back with you. We're going to be here on Tuesday afternoons at 12 p.m. at noon. Your mom and dad can help you find us here on Facebook, or maybe you're watching on the church website, or maybe you're watching on YouTube. You can watch all three of the different places, and if you miss it, you can always watch it on Facebook anytime, or you can watch it on YouTube anytime you want to. It's good to be back with you. I've missed seeing your faces, and hopefully, if you can maybe write something in the comments so I can see that you're here and see who is here. I miss seeing your faces, and hopefully we'll be back together very soon. So, if we were together in worship, we would do this thing called passing the peace, right? Remember, we used to give high fives and handshakes and hugs. We can't do that right now, so if you're in the comments and you can type something, maybe type something, say, hello, friends, so that we know that you are here. And if you would remember, if we were together, we would go through some of our rules. And remember, we have some rules, but let me just tell you what those are. They're a little different when we're here at home watching online. The first rule is the same, though. We're going to have fun. Make sure you have some fun. Second, I want you to make sure that you listen and don't disturb your family. Just watch what we're doing and participate in what we're doing, but don't bother anybody else in your family who might be watching with you so that they can pay attention as well. And my favorite rule of all, we're going to keep our hands, our feet, and our flippers to ourselves. Make sure everybody finds their flippers. You got your flippers? That's good. All right, it's good to be with you in worship. We're starting a brand new series today. It's called Promise. And we're going to talk about all of the promises that God has made in the Bible and how God has made these promises to us. So I found the perfect song. It's called There Are Promises by our friend Yancey. So here is this song. I hope you enjoy it. Make sure you sing and dance along with it. So friends, how did you like that new song, There Are Promises? We'll be making sure we sing that one each and every week during this series called Promise. So I wonder, what would be your paradise? Would you like to live on an island paradise? Maybe it's sort of like the beach, just an island full of great, wonderful things. That would be one of my paradises, to live like in a little house near the beach where I could sit with my toes in the sand and go swim in the water and see the birds and the fish and the dolphins and the manatees. So where would you consider to be your paradise or your perfect place to live? What are some things that would be in that place? Would you like to be near the beach? Would you like to have a pool? Would you like to have a big TV or a big yard or a dog or a cat? Would you like to have your own room? Or maybe you'd like to be in the mountains or near a lake. What would your paradise be? Today's Bible story is going to tell us about somebody's paradise. But first, we have our memory verse. So let me get up our memory verse here, and so you can see this with me. Here is our memory verse, and it comes from the book of Joshua. Joshua is in the Old Testament. It's from a book named Joshua 21, chapter 21, verse 45. And it goes like this. Not one. Can you guys do that with me? Not one. Okay? That's the beginning. Not one of all the Lords. Now we know Lords. We're going to make an L with our left hand in front of us and kind of take it across our chest like a banner. So it's not one of all the Lord's good and promises. You're going to make like a fist with your left hand and then cover it like rock, paper, scissors, okay? Promises. So it goes like this. Not one of all the Lord's good promises. Can you do that much again with me? Not one of all the Lord's good promises. Great job. That's awesome. And then we're going to go to Israel failed. We're going to give thumbs down. To Israel failed. Okay, let's do that much part again. Not one of all the Lord's good promises to Israel failed. Every one. We're going to kind of make like a rolling stone here with our hands. Everyone was fulfilled. So everyone, can you do this? Everyone was fulfilled. And we're going to make, like pretend you're making a rock on the ground and a thumbs up. Rock with your left hand, thumbs up with your right. Everyone was fulfilled. And we're going to say J for Joshua. J for Joshua. Actually, I guess it would be this way for you. J for Joshua. 21:45. So J for Joshua, 21:45. Let's try the whole thing together. Have you got it? I bet you do. Not one of all the Lord's good promises to Israel failed. Everyone was fulfilled. That's Joshua 21:45. You got it. Great job. Here's the trick. If you can memorize this, okay, if you can memorize it, and you do it on a video and have your parents send it to me, they can either send it to me and link us on Facebook, or they can email me, or they can text me, or they can put it on their Facebook page or Twitter page or Instagram, and let me know, though, somehow tag me on there or tag the church so that we know you did it. Then I will do a porch delivery of a special treat just for you. You can do this whole memory verse. Not one of the Lord's good promises to Israel failed. Everyone was fulfilled. Joshua 21:45. Good job. All right, so let's take a look at our prayer today. I want to make sure that we have a time that you can be quiet and still, and before we hear today's Bible story, that we can pray to God to be with us. So, will you pray with me? Bow your head and fold your hands, close your eyes. Dear God, we know you keep your promises. Thank you for promising to fix what is broken and helping us to learn how to do the same thing. And now, boys and girls, do you remember this prayer that we've been learning together? Do you remember this one? It's called the Lord's Prayer. Let's say it together. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, and thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen. Great job, great job. And that takes us to our Bible story, boys and girls. And our Bible story today is from the very, very beginning of the Bible. So I'm going to get my handy-dandy Bible here and open up to the very first page. And in this first page, at the very beginning of time, God created the world and created humankind. That's all of us, boys and girls and men and women. He created all of humankind to live in the world and to care for the world. Here's what it says. It says that God said, let there be humanity. Let there be men and women and boys and girls made in our image to resemble us, so that they may take charge of the fish of the sea and the birds of the sky and the livestock and all the earth and all the crawling things on the earth. So God created humanity in God's own image. In the divine image, God created them. Male and female, God created them. God blessed them and said to them, be fruitful and multiply. Fill the earth and master it. Take charge of the fish of the sea and the birds of the sky and everything crawling on the ground. And then God said, I now give you all the plants on the earth that yield seeds, and all the trees whose fruit produces seeds in it. These will be yours for food. To all the wildlife, to all the birds of the sky, and to everything crawling on the ground, to everything that breathes, I give all the green grasses for food. And that's what happened. God saw everything God had made, and it was very good. So what were some of the things that God gave to the first humans? Yeah, He gave the fish of the sea and the birds of the sky and all the livestock on the earth and all the animals that crawl on the ground. God gave them all to us. Gave us all the trees and all the plants and the seeds and for food. And what did He tell us that He wanted us to do? He wanted us to care for it. He wanted us to take care of that. God gave people the power to rule over the earth, to care over all the living things, and gave them everything that they needed. But even though God had given them a paradise, the first man and the first woman, like people do sometimes, like we do sometimes, they messed up big time. Here's what happened. A little bit further on in the story, in the 3rd chapter, it says this happened. The serpent was the most intelligent of all the wild animals that the Lord had made. And he said to the woman, did God really say you shouldn't eat from any tree in the garden? And the woman said to the snake, we may eat of the fruit of the garden's trees, but not the fruit of the tree in the middle of the garden. God said, don't eat from it and don't touch it, or you will die. "Oh, come on," the snake said to the woman. "You won't die. God knows that on that day you eat from it, you will see clearly and you will be like God, knowing good and evil." And the woman saw that the tree was beautiful with delicious food and that the tree would provide wisdom. So she took some of its fruit and she ate it, and also gave some to her husband who was with her, and he ate it. Then they both saw clearly and knew that they were naked. So they sewed some fig leaves together. Those are some big leaves. They sewed some fig leaves together and made garments for themselves. And during the day's cool evening breeze, they heard the sound of the Lord God walking in the garden. And the man said to his wife, "We should hide from God." And the Lord called out to the man and said, "Where are you?" The man replied, "I heard your sound in the garden, and I was afraid, and I hid." God said, "Well, why did you hide? Did you eat from the tree which I commanded you not to eat?" And the man said, "That woman that you gave to me, she gave me this fruit from the tree, and so I ate it." And the Lord God said to the woman, "What have you done?" And the woman said, "The snake, the serpent, he tricked me, and so I ate this fruit." The first humans, boys and girls, disobeyed God. God had provided them a perfect paradise, a perfect world to live in, and they chose to ignore the rule about the tree in the middle of the garden. And they broke the trust between themselves and God by disobeying. But you know what God did? Even though God was disappointed, even though God was disappointed in Adam and Eve's choices, God did this. The Lord God made the man and his wife leather clothes and dressed them. The Lord God said, "The human being has now become like one of us, knowing good and evil. Now, so he doesn't stretch out his hand and take over from the tree of life and eat and live forever, the Lord God sent them out of the Garden of Eden to farm the fertile land from which he was taken. He drove out the human. To the east of the Garden of Eden, he stationed winged creatures with flaming swords to guard the way to the tree of life." So even though Adam and Eve, even though the man and the woman had disobeyed God, God showed love even after they did what God told them not to do. God gave them some clothes, and he said, "Well, you can't live forever now." And that was a good thing, because they were going to be living forever without God if they lived forever. But now God was giving them a way to be with them too. So that leads us to our big idea today. So give me a drum roll. Let me get the drum roll here, the big idea. And here it is. The big idea is God promised to fix what was broken. Say that with me. God promised to fix what was broken. That's right. God promised to fix what was broken. So, I have a new treat for you. It's a friend. Her name is Callie, and she's got a little show that she wants to do for you as part of our series called Promise. So here is Miss Callie. Enjoy this time.
This is Callie, and this is... No, I have to do it again. I'm Callie Ferguson. Oh, it sounds like Burgerson. Who says their last name anyway? I'm Callie, and this is my first ever crazy vlog. A little about me. I'm 7 years old. A whole 7. Not like 6 going on 7. You know what? Let's do this another way. This is my room, guys, and this is my pet. Say hi. He doesn't say much. He's super shy. But you won't believe what my dad got me. I've waited forever for this, and it's finally here. Ah! Wait, what is this? Is this a joke? This can't be what I've waited like forever to get. Who is calling me now? Now is not the right time. It's my friend.
Hey, Callie. What are you up to today?
Hey, Dan, where are you? Dan is the coolest friend you'll see.
Me? Oh, I'm just at the beach. I don't want to brag or anything, but I'm kind of at the beach. What are you up to?
I started my most awesome vlog, but I had a little bump because what I was waiting for was broken.
Well, your story reminds me of a lot of a Bible story that I heard in the Bible. It's time for our Bible story. After God made the heavens and the earth, and plants and all of the animals and the light and everything we see, God made something amazing on the sixth day.
What's that?
God made humans.
Like you and me?
Yes, human beings. God made human beings to rule over the earth and sea and birds and all of the animals.
Even the insects on the ground?
For sure, even the insects on the ground. God created human beings in his own image. God created human beings, girls and boys both, to be a reflection of all the things God is made of.
But why don't we all look the same?
Because we all reflect a different part of God in our hearts and in our minds, in our bodies too. Every person that is here is made in God's image, and God told them to create more beautiful children just like God had created them. And they were to take care of the creation all around them, all of the wildlife and animals and even each other.
Amazing!
God also made sure everyone had food to eat, using the plants that have seeds and the fruit trees.
Like bananas and mangoes?
Exactly. But it didn't stop there. Although everything seemed extremely wonderful in the garden, there was one important thing that God told human beings not to do. God told Adam and Eve not to eat one kind of fruit on one super off the limits tree.
That seems simple enough.
You think so, but there was a serpent there that was an enemy against all of the good things God had made. The serpent was a clever animal, and though human beings could do everything but this one thing, the serpent caused the woman to wonder why and question what God really meant.
Oh no!
The serpent asked Eve, "Did God really say that?"
God did say it, right?
God sure did, but the serpent tricked her and made her think it was okay to do what God didn't want them to do. Now Eve was confused by what the serpent said, and she ate the fruit from the tree that was off limits. She then gave some to her husband, Adam. When the evening came and God came to visit them, they hid because they were afraid. God spoke to them and they came out and told him what they had done and how the serpent tricked them. God, of course, was very disappointed and made the serpent to now be worse than all of the animals ever created. The serpent now will crawl on its belly in the dust forever. Humans now would have to work for their food and feel pain in ways that they hadn't felt before. God made a perfect world that became broken, but it's like God said, "I got this," and started to put all the pieces that were broken back together again. So I have a suggestion. Why don't you put all the pieces back together and put them in the box and send it back to where it came from, and they'll ship it back to you as good as new. All right? Try it.
I never thought about that. Maybe I could have my mom send it for me tomorrow. Later, Dan. Catch you next time. And what is this? A comment? This is a comment from Mary. Can God really fix everything that is broken? Well, in the Bible, he promised he would. I'm pretty sure he can. My mom says to pray about everything. And since God is loving and cares about us, he can take care of us too. I have to run, besties, but catch you next time. This is Callie, and this is...
So there you have it. That's Callie's World, friends, and we will be checking in on Callie each week during our series called Promise. So I want you to remember, I want you to remember this big idea today. This big idea that God promised to fix what was broken. Everything gets broken sometimes, but God promises to fix what is broken. Say that with me. God promised to fix what is broken. Now, if we were together, now would be the time that we would take up our offering. Remember, the offering is not just a time where we give money to the church. The offering is a time when we get to respond to God for God's great love for us. Because God fixes broken things, God promises to fix broken things, we want to respond to God's love by giving back to God. And when we give things in Grace Kids Church, we usually do that to one of our friends who's a mission partner. And we help people who don't have food, or help people who don't have shelter, or children who don't have families. So until we get back together here at the church, I want you to be doing some extra chores, doing some things around the house, maybe checking your cushions in your cars and your cushions in your couches and chairs at the house, and save all that money up so that when we come back together, we'll be able to share that with some friends who are mission partners at Grace Community United Methodist Church. And we'll be able to help them. And maybe we'll be able to be like God helps to fix broken things. Maybe we can be a part of helping to fix broken things by giving our money for our offering. So here's another new song for you I want to introduce you to, and I hope you have fun. Make sure you get up on your feet and sing and dance along with it as well. Here you go.
When my world feels like it's shaking, when my heart feels like it's breaking, walking over waves can be hard to do. Take my hand, you're the hero, Jesus. You're the one who never leaves us. Whatever
Whew, those were some difficult dance moves. And now I think I need some water. Man, whew. Whew. I bet you guys did really great with those. And I can't wait to see you do them in person. We'll keep practicing those songs, those new songs from this week. And as we get ready to go, I want to remind you that if you know that memory verse, get your mom or dad to tape you, videotape you, and you can send that to me on Facebook or email or Messenger, or send me a text message, however mom and dad can get it to me so I can see. And then I'll bring a special treat and leave it on your porch just for you. Boys and girls, I miss seeing you. I'm glad we can be together here. And I can't wait to hang out with you on Thursday at 3 p.m. in the Zoom Hangout room. We're going to talk about some of this story a little bit. We'll play some games. I've got a Mad Lib planned, and we'll talk about our highs and lows too. It's good to be with you, boys and girls. And remember the big idea. God promised to fix what was broken. And He promises that to us today too. All right, boys and girls, I will see you soon. Bye-bye.